Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Superfed Presents the REBBL REL action. However, today we are not doing a recap. We are actually not even doing a game in the division that I cover. I saw a match result and some frustrations in the chat, and from one orc coach to another, I basically want to take a look at this game. And actually, I've been meaning to watch Highlord Salt play, who also very active in chat, so I figured this is a good chance for me to catch a match from Division 4 and kind of assess where these coaches are at. They've got some good, well-developed teams, but they're just not seeing the results they'd like to see. So I figure this is a coaching opportunity, but at the same time, without further ado, I definitely will lead this one with the disclaimer. Warning, what you are about to hear is in fact opinion. It is not necessarily a representation of the league, coaches, or channel. You will hear things that may not make you feel good. This is called criticism. Sometimes criticism can even be subjective. Blood Bowl is a game of dice and strategy, and there will be comments on both dice and strategy. It does not necessarily mean that the subjects are good or bad people, but they probably are bad coaches. This is sarcasm. Either way, if you think it is offensive to be told you are wrong, tell someone else who cares. Enjoy. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this. So to give some backstory, Highlord Salt is a coach of a Nurgle team, Nurgle FTDs. They've been around for at least 3 seasons. And they do very poorly in the season and do really, really well in the off-season. He's a good coach. I like him in chat. He plays in clan as well. But I haven't actually watched many of his games, so I'm interested to do that. At the same time, we have Havokk, who's been around a similar length of time, has a disgusting orc team, and well-developed black orcs, you name it. And so he also has had similar issues of just struggling through the season. His first season did really well, cleaned house, wrecked some people badly. Second season, though, last season I think it was, his second season with this team, didn't go so well. Don't think he won a single match. Got a couple draws, but mostly losses. And having a rough start out of the gate this season. So we are going to be taking a peek and seeing what plays we can analyze from these two. First off, I can say that I do not like this setup from the orc team on defense. He's playing very cautious, but he's also, I mean, basically he's giving the Nurgle team their choice of who they would like to punch in this deep. He's also giving them a lot of ground. I would like him to be up one more square here, and I would like to just give him, you know, the 3 most vulnerable willing targets that he's able to on the line here. So I don't know about that. We also have a blitzer sitting, so he has 3 linemen that are going to be, you know, taking these claw hits. He seems very afraid of the claw, which I just don't agree with. I think you should be willing to sacrifice your troll and 2 line orcs down here to have that blitzer on the pitch. Because, just as we saw right there, there was 3 hits right there. 2 of them were with claw, I believe. And look at that, there was no damage at all. I think Claw Mighty Blow is extremely powerful, but it is not something that you should overreact to. And what I'm seeing right here is a major overreaction on this first turn from the orc team. Interestingly enough, Highlord Salt is actually not blitzing with Claw Mighty Blow, or even just Mighty Blow. So he made his Claw Mighty Blow hit here, he made a Mighty Blow hit with the Beast, and another Mighty Blow hit here. And then he's got this one, so he just really only got 1 Claw Mighty Blow piece. But I would have liked to see this one make the blitz instead of this one, just to give him a better chance of breaking armor there, but he didn't break the armor anyway. Positioning's a little bit odd as well. All secure, though. Carrying on the wrestle piece instead of the blodge piece. I assume he's just trying to get the level up here, 13 to 16. That's fine. What I would rather you do, though, is carry the ball in the blodge one and then hand off to this one once you get it safely secure within scoring range. Because if you're carrying like this, if the, you know, You have a turnover. Very easy to knock that guy over compared to this beast, or this one. All at the same time, actually, the sure hands, his job is to ball carry, so he should be carrying the ball, if only to protect him, and the rest of one can do other things, and then you hand it off later. Orcs coming in strong, bringing up a lot of stuff onto one rotter, and Dove's Skull starts off the match. That's rough. You've got 3 rerolls, though. I would not have used Pro there, although, I mean, you should have moved the rest of these before. So if we stop before we let the Nurgle play, before you make your blitz action, you want to make sure you've done all the other positioning that you're going to do, unless the positioning requires the blitz action to, you know, adjust. But bringing in these 3 pieces in response to this one rotter is unnecessary. You want to make it a 3-die blitz, you could. I like targeting the rotter. That was the right call. It's, you know, left alone, it's got no skills. It's the one that you're most likely to remove. So that part wasn't bad. It was just, you know, reposition these guys first. I would also actually stand up this guy first. You really want to try and soak up this Claw Mighty Blow that you're extremely worried about with these line orcs. So you've already made the decision to do that, but, you know, you stand up this one and this one, and actually I would put this one right here. And now you forced him to either make these 2 blocks like this to free him up, or you're going to force him to hit one of the line orcs who you decided is disposable. This guy's... Yeah, that's fine. That position's fine. But I definitely would have done something to position it over on this side here. But either way, it's not the end of the world at this point. So the Nurgle brings up the Blanche piece. It's a nice hit there, but of course no damage. No Mighty Blow, no Claw. But that's relatively safe result there. Marking with the dirty player instead of fouling with the dirty player. You can see he's going to target this black orc here, but he's going to be leaving his killer based by this guy. Not without reaction. Well, that's what you pay, or the price you pay for not standing up those guys, and that is definitely an injury. Losing a movement bust on a black orc sucks. I've had that happen to myself. But that's literally the consequence of these 2 guys not standing up before you make that blitz. That was entirely preventable. Sure, you would have probably taken that same role on one of these linemen, but black orcs are worth protecting. That's why you've got a blitzer on the sideline. Now, on the other side of the pitch here, we've got Highlord Salt that is going extremely, extremely heavily into this side of the pitch. And very closely packed together as well. There's not really a chain push play on the ball, but he could take red dice on the ball if he wants. And on a piece that has wrestle only. The red dice with your strip ball right here. Oh my god, what is going on? So hold everything. If you swing this guy around and mark this guy, and you swing this orc over here and mark these guys, there's no guard here. You have a 1-die with strip ball, block, and tackle on a wrestle Pestigore. At the very least, that ball is coming loose. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 GFI. Yeah, alright, whatever. You've got 3 rerolls, it's worth it. 1. He was on the ground. He was here. He was here. That would be 1. He wasn't on the ground. That was this guy. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's easy. Yeah, you can mark all these guys and get a 1-die on the ball. That should have been your first priority. At this point, the play is over here. Every piece that you've got that you're committing to this side of the pitch is wasted. You never want to have more guys on one side of the pitch when you're on defense. When the ball's on the other side. Blitzing a foul appearance target, not good. Pro finally does the thing for you. It's the armor break. And the pylon for the KO, which that's nice, but you've invested so much to get this 1 KO, and the action is all over here, and you had a hit on the ball. So, I would definitely rather have seen you knock that ball loose against this Nurgle team. I mean, you're further committing more pieces over here. You've essentially given up the score on turn 2 instead of taking a 1 die on the ball with strip ball. Don't like it. Poor... what is his name? Wrinklebeast. Left to the slaughter. Survives greed reroll by Nurgle FTD. He had 4 rerolls, so I don't hate it, but at the same time, that wasn't that great. No big deal. And because you pulled all these pieces away, he is now free to do more damage to you. Had you left pressure on the ball, Havokk, if there's pressure over here or even just orcs threatening, he has to move his whole cage up. But because you basically have said, hey, I don't even give a damn about the ball. I'm not even going to, pressure you. I'm going to move all my pieces over here for safety. You're actually making your players at larger risk because now the Nurgle team can commit all of their resources towards getting you and doing more damage to you and limiting the damage that you can do to them. So I like this play by Highlord. So I did not like the last turn where he brought the ball and exposed it to a 1 die. But I do like the decision to basically, not potato, but screen with a little bit of potato. That said, the ball is, again, not safe. Ask anyone that's played Cheese X, and you know that Black Orcs can make dodges. Absolutely. 50% with a reroll, 75%. And what would that be? That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's only going to mark, so it's not a hit on the ball. 2, 4, 5. But that's pressure that you don't have to expose yourself to. And it looks like we are going to be chasing down this Blodge Pestigore. Unnecessary reroll, low priority target. Don't like it. Looks like he's setting up a foul on this Rodder, which I also don't like. And you're using your most expensive line orc to do it. You snake it. But honestly, that's kind of deserved. There's no exchange that you win, even if you get sent off trying to kill this guy, this Pestigore, or this Rodder. If the Rodder gets sent off for an injury and you get sent off, you would just lost value. Especially when you're using that one on the line for blocks. So the Nurgle has a good opportunity here to keep punching back and controlling the pitch. Ball completely safe. He runs it in early. I don't like that at all. It probably isn't going to cost him, but you just park him right there. And you keep playing for attrition and numbers. Right now, you're going to have the advantage by 1, sure. But it's very easy for the orcs to score in 5 turns, which you've given them. And that's how you end up losing the game 2-1. You absolutely stall till turn 8 there on the Nurgle team, and you just keep applying all that pressure. Because they are down those 2 numbers, and there is 1 on the bench there, so really they're down... well, it's still 2, but they would be down 2 instead of the 1 that they're down now. And you had superior positioning on them as well. Could have gotten away with a couple fouls as well. You had Rodders on the pitch. Foul some of those Black Orcs off. There's no reason at all that you should score on that. Sure, there's potentially a situation where you could get an extra score this half. If you just feel like Havokk is not even playing to win, which I could see why you might think that. But you shouldn't play that way. You should never assume that your opponent isn't going to try. Because it could always be a feint. He could, willingly give up the score so that you score early, and then he gets the chance to come back into the game as well now. A couple Mighty Blow shots from the Black Orcs, 3 die from the Troll. Don't hate it. but you should follow that block up rather than let the Rodder reposition there. Looks like we're going for the Wrestle Pesty. Rather than take this path, and again we see it, just frustration greed reroll, totally unnecessary. Shouldn't be using your second reroll on a blitz like that. But just the angle of the approach there, you don't even have to base with this black work. You can actually just bring that lineman up to the side here and blitz from this angle, and then you're not giving up an extra hit. Vanity pass with the Orc team. Does find himself an extra SBP on the Ram Burglar. And fouling a Rodder yet again. Not the one that you should even be fouling. There's a dirty player one, but honestly, you shouldn't be fouling any Rodders. Claw sees the armor break there. No damage. And you suffer a second hit because you followed the push. Don't like that. You want to try to minimize the hits that you take. Even as orcs, it's important to minimize those hits. That's how you avoid having an 84 block game. I do like the way Highlord Salt played his turn. He, took the blitzes. Got priority target. Double ones, you obviously have to reroll that one, but because you've used two other greed rerolls here, you're now completely out of rerolls. Remember, double skulls is a 1 in 36, right? So think about it this way. If you're going to make 36 blocks, you can expect to have that happen at least once. Most orcs try to make 60 blocks a game if they can. So you should fully not be surprised to see 4 dub skulls a game. Now you've got a lot of block on your team as orcs, which you should. Oh my god, are we fouling with the ball carrier? Jesus. Okay, we're fouling with the ball carrier. And we're sent off with the ball carrier. Okay, anyway, the point I was making, dub skulls happen. You need to be prepared for them. You need to save your rerolls for them. There are certainly things that you need to reroll that are not dub skulls, and you have to weigh the risk and the reward for it. But to get tilted because turn 1 is a dub skull, turn 3 is a foul that is snaked, that you shouldn't even be taking, and turn 5 is another dub skull, is really not that bad of numbers. And right here, a really stupid loner roll right there. Loner reroll, I should say, on the really stupid. Although itself, using the reroll for that was, in my opinion, really stupid. But he had one to burn, so I guess it's not the end of the world. He'd already blitzed, so sure. I would have rather he rerolled the pickup attempt, personally. He shouldn't have even moved that beast, honestly. It was positioned next to the ball. Don't touch it. Leave it right exactly there. And then it's not going to risk the really stupid activation. What did I miss? Sorry. Oh, another dub skull. Well, there you go. Had he not been greed re-rolling pushes earlier in the turn, he would have had another reroll for that, so. That is exactly the point I was making. Again, really stupid. I don't know where he's going with this. Is he just not going to attempt the pickup? Because then why did he put his Pestigore down here? The only one that you should be blitzing is the one that's marking the ball. So this should have been a blitz here. And then you should have used your Pestigore to try to pick up the ball and make this pass. So that's something that Highlord Assault definitely could have done differently. It was only marked by one black work, and you had positioning to get the dice block onto that black work and clear the ball. At this point, the drive is lost, so I understand why we're just focusing on blocks there. Getting the knockout on the wrestlers, nice. Hopefully those don't come back at the second half. Again, back to back, over and over, really stupids. At least fouling with the right piece, but again, fouling the wrong target. No chance of a score, so no point using that there. Mighty blow not needed on that one. Big blitz from the claw. KO. The orc sideline is quickly filling up. What Highlord Assault's trying to do here is limit the damage that he takes by repositioning the guard. But you want to be careful, though, is that you don't give your opponent extra hits in the process. I don't think he did that here. All he really marked was this unskilled lineman. So that's fine. He might have wanted to dodge this Rodder out. It's going to be easier to hit the ground than by hit by Mighty Blow, but he's not punished for that. Because the troll makes the move, brings the guard up, there is a 2-die there. There's also foul, but it's a 10+ foul. Doesn't happen. And we see a red die blitz. If anything, I would have rather you taken a 1-die on somebody else. Fine. Not punished. One of the KOs comes back for the Nurgle team, but the Nurgle player stays out. That's really doing a favor to Havokk. Not having that dirty player coming his way. And we are left with, what is that, 7 orcs taking on 11 Nurgle. I think it's entirely possible to score with these 7 orcs. A lot of dice involved, a lot of 3+, 4+ actions, but definitely possible. But you'd have to score fast. Don't expect that we're going to see that. He had 5 turns, so Havokk had 5 turns to score as the orcs last time, and he just kind of ran up the middle and then fouled with the ball carrier. If he was actively trying to score in that time, he would have tried to screen off one side. He has the movement to outrun Nurgle in most cases, so he could have, you know, done something with either a line orc or a black orc up on one side, brought the Nurgle team over, and then swung back around the other way with 5 turns. That's totally possible. With the number advantage, what it is right now, he re-rolls that. God damn it, I knew he'd re-roll that. You cannot re-roll every push. It's a frenzy piece. You just push him to the side, and then you get another shot. It's totally unnecessary. So, the biggest takeaway I'm seeing right now for Havokk is re-roll management. Absolutely. Re-rolling pushes once per half is acceptable if you are confident and willing to risk it, or if there's a need for it. Fouling stun players is also never advisable. But yeah, reroll management. Man. Gotta be able to accept pushes, because right here, not that it would have made a difference, but it's more important to reroll the pro or reroll the pickup than it is to reroll the push. And if you were gonna try to score, you're probably going to need at least 1 reroll for the handoff play. And probably 1 for a dodge. Claw coming in, getting the KO. I don't like exposing this one here. I don't think he's gonna have to worry about anything, but technically he could get 2 dice on this killer really easy. And all the focus that has been applied to the Rotters this game is what should have been put on the 1 claw piece. If you were to foul the claw piece 5 times, then you're doing the right thing. This ball carrier is also entirely worthy of being fouled. Now that you've cleared up your troll, I would actually like to see the troll blitz, but not on the beast and Nurgle. What? Targeting that guy for? And again, you're re-rolling a block. Push. No, you blitz this guy. Or if you want a more likely knockdown, you blitz this guy, but he's got foul appearance. I personally don't like blitzing pieces with foul appearance. I'd rather focus another piece. If I don't have any other option, then I'll go for that foul appearance blitz, but or if I need to get around that piece, they don't have stand firm and blodge. See, there's a dub skull for your opponent. But you know, you're looking at a blodge pest, of course you're fishing for a POW. It's probably not going to come on your troll. So I would probably then target either this guy or this guy. Either way, anything but the beast and Nurgle. And if you do roll a push, can't re-roll it. Wisely not re-rolling the push there. And if I'm Highlord Salt, I am absolutely trying to score on this Nurgle warrior. Red die blitz. First action. Okay. So the game is entirely devolved at this point, and I'm assuming we're just full tilt, and probably happened last half, but still we can learn from what Highlord Salt's doing here. There were a couple things that we mentioned earlier that we would like to see improved upon on his side of things. But altogether, he's prioritizing blitzing with his claw, getting as many claw hits as he can. I like that. I would definitely like to see a second claw from this team. Probably on this Pestigore, Mighty Blow, Tackle, Block. Even though it's kind of anti-elf, so he's probably thinking piling on next. I would rather get Claw next. A lot of elf teams have AV8 anyway. And if you can get that Claw on there, it'll be a threat to more than just the elf teams. I don't really think any of the Nurgle warriors really need Claw. Maybe this one. The Agi busted one. Although I'd rather get Guard maybe next. Yeah, actually no. I would actually be fine with Claw on this guy too. Getting 2 more Claw. Good touchdown. Perfectly agree with that play. And since it is your opponent's offensive drive and you were already up 1-0, this is not the time to stall. I came down on you for not stalling in the first half, but in the second half in that situation, you absolutely score and go for a 3-0 win. Got huge number advantage too. 30 player stays off. But at this point, we're not even really seeing Highlord Salt foul. And he absolutely could keep fouling with the 2 Rotters he's got. Not doing anything to defend the ball. This is how you do an angled blitz. Nope, nope, you did the opposite. He set up a 2-die blitz, but he didn't come from the right angle, and so it became a 1-die blitz, but he still got the POW. Not punished. And the pylon gets him a KO. That's one of those plays that makes people think, well, did you have the dice log? Did you know what was coming? And a troll blitz, because why not? Honestly, this pinball machine is locked for the tilt warning. Even if you do, you know, get this tilted and you lose the match, in a league like REBBL, you don't want to just not play the ball at all. It does disrupt things for your opponents. You're not playing this against this team as much to win as you would be against other teams. I'm wording this poorly, but you're not putting your best effort to win every match. You're only putting your best effort to win a couple matches when you play like this, and that does disrupt the competitive flow. You know, whoever played Highlord Salt early on in the season is going to be getting him much less fed than later in the season, after he's going to get a couple levels off this that frankly shouldn't have got. Labius the Crusty should not have got that touchdown, and my guess is he's going to get a second one here. And that's just free development for a Nurgle team that doesn't need it. So yeah, it's just, you know, not in the competitive spirit of the REBBL. You want to always try and play to win. I certainly understand it'd be one thing if you were play conservative too, but you're not. You're just kind of, I mean, you're full fouling, things like that. There's certainly a case to be made for soft conceding, which is, you know, if you get down in numbers really bad, you don't feel like there's any way you can come back, which I would probably argue is not true, but still. If you feel that way, you can, you know, run all your players towards the corner, opposite of the ball, and have them go in there. But again, you're still open to getting out-muscled if you're not applying pressure on the ball. I mentioned this in the first half, but by applying pressure on the ball, you're forcing your opponent to control more of the pitch, and that means that he can't use all of his pieces to inflict maximum damage upon you. Since we're not putting any pressure on the ball, he only has to use 2 pieces for this play, and that's all he's using. He's not bringing over his whole team to try and get this ball. Red dice, but gets the double POW. The exact opposite of your double skull. And who says never lucky? Before you roll any other dice, I'd probably go for this. Or what I'd actually probably do is I would move him down to get within scoring range, pick up on the Pestigore, and then attempt a handoff. That's how I would do it. But fine if you pick it up. But yeah, Labius the Crusty will definitely be leveling up here. Upon thy salt of... And that's going to wrap this one up. I'm going to cover a second game tonight, but I'm going to break up the VODs so it's easier for people to watch the match that they want to watch. But takeaways for both teams. Highlord Salt, definitely make sure that you're watching your ball carrier. exposing that one die with strip ball early on. Well, even though it wasn't a executed opportunity by Havokk, it was still something that you want to be mindful of and adjust in your play. I think you didn't have to go that far forward. I think you could have been a little bit further back and been safe. And the way you set up that whole cluster wasn't really organized or spaced out well. I know Nurgle doesn't have a lot of movement to work with, but it's still, slow your roll and accomplish the same thing. Havokk, obviously you tilted hard, very hard, but reroll management is the biggest thing that you can take away from this one. Additionally, positioning for your blitzes and minimizing your basing and your blocks, but also prioritizing the right targets. Going after those rotters. The reason why you go after rotters is because they don't have regen, but you're only trying to fish for casualties on those. You certainly should not be fouling the rotters. You blitz them with your blitzers that have piling on Mighty Blow. Get a better chance of getting them off the pitch. Maybe you try and surf them, but you certainly shouldn't be fouling them. Your biggest priority, though, should not be the rotters. It should be that only Claw Mighty Blow piece that he has. That's the one that's most likely to do damage to you. And you definitely had some opportunities there to get multiple dice on that piece. Yes, it has blodge, but it's still doable, especially with your tackle Mighty Blow blitzers. So those would be the takeaways there. But certainly a winnable match, just not played to the best of what I believe that team's capabilities is. The Orc team is still phenomenal, even with the perm damage that you suffered there. No deaths, nothing immediately fireable. Losing the movement on that Black Orc sucks, though. I can relate to that. But it's what I actually honestly recommend for Havokk is to just play some games for fun in a different setting, maybe like the Rookie League Spin League or CCL, as long as you approach it with the mindset of, yeah, this is just for fun, CCL stuff, just to get back to the basics, get back to where you like the game, and just play for fun, play for some competitiveness. I can tell just from the post-game stuff that you weren't having very much fun this match, and I think if you had looked at it more as a challenge of how do I come back from the first 3 dice that I roll being ones, and it's certainly possible to do that. You'll have more appreciation of it. Think of it as handicapping yourself with the challenge of having a rough start. It was certainly an option for you, but just a couple things to think of, take away. Hopefully you gain something from this. If you ended up even watching it, you may not. That's fine too. But there's something that everybody else can learn from it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one.